Imagine waking up in the middle of June, but the air is freezing, the skies are dark, and crops lie dead in the fields. The sun seems to have vanished, and across the world, millions are starving. This is not science fiction. It really happened. A year when summer never came. A year of hunger, chaos, and despair. This is the forgotten story of 1816, the year without summer. History remembers wars, revolutions, and kings. But sometimes, the most powerful events are not caused by politics, but by nature itself. In 1816, across Europe, North America, and even Asia, something strange happened. Snow fell in June, rivers froze in July, crops failed, livestock died, and famine spread. For those who lived through it, it felt like the end of the world. Some called it the year of poverty, others the year of the beggar. But historians today call it the year without summer, a global climate disaster triggered by forces far beyond human control. In April 1815, 1 year before the disaster, the Tambora volcano in Indonesia erupted with unimaginable power. It was the largest volcanic eruption in recorded history. The explosion was heard nearly 2,000 kilometers away. Entire villages vanished under ash. Tens of thousands died instantly. But the true devastation was only beginning. The eruption sent massive clouds of volcanic ash and sulfur into the atmosphere. These particles spread across the globe, blocking sunlight and cooling the planet. The Earth's temperature dropped by as much as 3 degrees Celsius, enough to plunge the world into chaos. By May 1816, people across the Northern Hemisphere realized something was wrong. In New England, farmers planted their fields, only to see frost kill their crops in June. In July, ice formed on lakes in Pennsylvania. Snowstorms buried villages in Vermont and New Hampshire. Across the Atlantic in Europe, the situation was even worse. Constant rain and freezing winds destroyed harvests. Wheat rotted in the fields. In Ireland, famine struck, killing thousands. In Switzerland and Germany, grain prices soared, sparking riots and violence. The sun itself seemed dim and weak, shrouded behind a veil of ash. People described the sky as a cold copper color. It felt as if the sun had disappeared. The year without summer brought suffering on a massive scale. In Asia, monsoons failed in India, leading to drought and famine. In China, cold temperatures destroyed rice crops, causing widespread starvation. In Europe, the crisis was catastrophic. Hunger forced families to eat grass, roots, even stray animals. Diseases spread quickly through weakened populations. Typhus outbreaks killed tens of thousands. In North America, desperate farmers abandoned their homes and moved west in search of fertile land. Historians estimate that hundreds of thousands died worldwide from famine and disease caused by the volcanic winter. It was as if the planet itself had turned against humanity. But even in darkness, history found unexpected light. In Switzerland, a group of writers were trapped indoors by endless rain and cold. Among them was a young woman named Mary Shelley. Bored and restless, she began writing a story about a scientist who creates life from death. That story became Frankenstein. Her companion, Lord Byron, also inspired by the gloomy skies, wrote his famous poem, Darkness, describing a world where the sun dies and humanity perishes. In America, the hardship of 1816 drove migration westward, opening new frontiers. Even agriculture changed. Farmers began planting hardier crops like potatoes, oats, and corn, food that could survive in colder climates. The year without summer left scars, but also shaped the future. For decades, people who lived through 1816 didn't understand why summer never came. Some blamed divine punishment. Others believed the sun itself was fading. Newspapers spread rumors of comets and planetary alignments. It wasn't until the 20th century that scientists finally uncovered the truth. The culprit was the eruption of Mount Tambora. Its volcanic ash created what we now call a volcanic winter. By blocking sunlight and altering weather patterns, tambora plunged the world into a year of chaos. Modern science has since discovered that large volcanic eruptions can alter global climate for years. But in 1816, people had no idea. All they knew was that their world had changed overnight. The year without summer is often overlooked in history books, but its impact was profound. It reshaped agriculture, literature, migration, and even science. It taught humanity that nature, not just politics, could change the course of history. And it serves as a warning. Our survival is tied to forces far beyond our control. Today, climate change once again threatens global stability. The year without summer reminds us how fragile our societies can be when nature turns against us. But it also reminds us of resilience. Despite famine, fear, and darkness, humanity endured, and even created works of art that still inspire us today. The year without summer was a year when the sun disappeared, when crops died, when hunger and despair swept across the globe. It was a tragedy born from the Earth's fury, but also a story of survival, adaptation, and creativity. As we face our own challenges today, we must remember this forgotten year. Because the past does not just tell us what happened, it tells us how to endure when the skies grow dark. If you found this story of the forgotten year without summer fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There are countless more hidden stories from history waiting to be uncovered. Join me as we bring them back into the light.